everyone, it's Leo again from revitalizeyourself.com. Does heart disease run in your family? If so, I want you to pay extra attention to this video, because all so often when people have something that runs in their family, whether it be heart disease, whether it's diabetes, whether it's other diseases, whatever it may be, whenever something runs in your family, we kind of get this victimhood mentality that it's bound to happen to us and there's really nothing we can do about it. Whatever you do, don't have that mentality, because ultimately diseases running in families, it really starts with the mentality. Do you have the give up mentality? Do you have that victimhood mentality? Or do you have the mentality that says, yeah, maybe I do have some predispositions to bad things. Maybe I do have some predispositions to heart disease or other diseases. But you know what? I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to lose body fat. I'm going to exercise plenty. I'm going to control my stress levels. I'm going to try to break that cycle, or at least do something to change it. That's not to say that some illnesses are inherited, and diseases such as hemophilia, Parkinson's disease. So many diseases literally are flat out genetic. You will inherit them from your parents. However, when it comes to predisposition to other illnesses, whether it be cancer, heart disease, diabetes, stroke, so forth, so on, yes, that can be partially genetic. But what do you do with the genes you're given? That's what really makes the most difference. When you're at a family reunion, depending on how close you may be, your grandparents or your uncles, cousins, so forth, so on, perhaps you've adopted similar habits to them. Perhaps if they eat unhealthy, most likely you're probably eating unhealthy. Fact of the matter is, what ultimately causes heart disease? Inflammation, obesity, and an imbalanced diet. Those are the main causes of heart disease. So if you're not taking care of yourself, ultimately you're not doing yourself any good. Not everyone is given this tough battleship-like genetics. The point of all this is that you've got to use what you're given to your advantage, even if you have a predisposition to heart disease. Well, rather than giving up, say this. Say, you know what? Because heart disease runs in my family, I have to take better care of myself, rather than saying, I'm not going to take care of myself because heart disease runs in the family. Because if you're saying that, if you have that mentality, you're just going to continue the old cycle, and you're only going to pass that cycle on down to those younger than you. But if you do say, okay, I'm going to lose weight, I'm not going to be overweight, I'm going to control my stress, I'm going to eat a balanced diet, I'm going to eat my vegetables, I'm going to eat my healthy fats, my proteins, I'm going to eat a balanced diet, I'm going to take care of myself, then heart disease is going to have a hard time hunting you down. Simple as that. Another common genetic predisposition we see to heart disease is visceral fat. Fat stored in our midsection and in our bodies puts us at a much higher risk of heart disease than fat that's, say, stored in our legs or stored in our back, wherever else it might be stored. And unfortunately, that's one of these things we can't control. We can't control where our fat is stored. I get so many people that come to me all the time, they say, Leo, I want to lose my belly fat. Okay, well, I tell them to lose fat, you've got to master the calories in, calories out balance. And the most easy way to do that is to eat nutrient-dense foods that fill you up without bringing you over the calorie limit. People say, okay, well, I just want to lose fat here. So what do? They start doing crunches. Well, guys, the fact of the matter is you can spot build muscle, but you can't spot reduce fat. So many people believe that anyone that tries to sell you a detox treatment, some cleansing treatment, any treatment that supposedly melts belly fat but keeps the rest of your fat intact, that keeps the rest of your physique intact, they're selling you snake oil. Because the fact of the matter is, where our body stores our fat is genetic. Where we choose to store excess weight, excess energy, that's genetic. Things like the beer belly, things such as love handles, they're inherited. And unfortunately, that's just the case. That's another reason why some of us might be predisposed to heart disease, because we naturally have that genetic tendency to build fat in our midsection rather than in our legs, in our arms, in other places where it's safer to build. Well, then what do you got to say then? You got to say, okay, well, I do have that predisposition, but if I maintain a 10% body fat percentage, then it won't matter where my body stores the fat, because I'm not going to have much fat to store. I'm not going to have that fat inhibiting my heart, hurting me and causing me to potentially get heart disease, because I'm going to eat a healthy diet, because I'm going to get plenty of exercise, because I'm going to strength train, because I'm going to control my stress. I'm going to take care of myself, and therefore I'm not going to get on that path to heart disease. I'm not going to be affected by these genetic predispositions, because I'm doing all the right things, because I'm taking the right steps. Now, in some extreme cases, does bad stuff still happen? Of course. But the long story short here is, not everyone is blessed with perfect genetics. Not everyone's going to have a physique as big and strong as The Rock or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some of us, even if we did take anabolic steroids, even if we did every little thing we could, unnatural and natural, we still would not be as big as some of these other guys or as strong as some of these other guys. No matter any cheat codes we might think of, most of us will never be as fast as, say, Usain Bolt. You have to work with the genetics you're given and make the most out of them. Is everyone going to become a top Olympian? Is everyone going to become a professional athlete? Is everyone going to have a perfectly chiseled 9% body fat physique, 20% if you're a woman? Is everyone going to have that perfect physique? No, it doesn't happen to everyone. But working with what you got and not succumbing to that victimhood mentality, that's what gets you far. So why does heart disease run in families? Yes, there are genetic predispositions, but it all starts with our mental habits. And our mental habits become our physical habits. And when we take good care of ourselves, when we have a healthy lifestyle, we're going to set an example for other people in our family. And if you do that, you'll be surprised to see the reversal of that trend in your family. You'll realize that, you know what? Most of this trend has been happening because of habits, not because of genetics. It's been happening because of mentality, not because of predisposition. So forth, so on. So don't let your genetics be a reason for not training hard. Don't let your genetics be an excuse for not eating healthy. And certainly do not have your genetics be an excuse for not taking your health seriously. Because ultimately, we're all only given one body. And what we do with it is up to us. If you are someone who's always struggled with weight loss, if you are someone who's always felt like you don't have the best genetic advantages, tell yourself this. Rather than saying, I can't be healthy because of good genetics, say, I have to be healthy and I have to take extra care of my choices and I have to be extra cautious with what I do because I don't have the best genetic advantages. Change your mentality, and when you change your mentality, you'll see how great the results will be, not just for you, but for all those around you, your friends, your family. You'll be a positive change for everyone around you, and it only will have good, positive implications for everything else you do in your life. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, genetics don't dictate everything. Do not have that victimhood mentality. Do not assume that just because something runs in your family, that is destined to happen to you and there's nothing you can do about it. Be strong, make positive choices, and those positive choices will result in positive changes. All right, guys, see you next time.